Good morning, Red Lion Area Senior High School. I'm Dane. Today is Thursday, March 10th, Cycle Day 2. Welcome to RLA TV's Thursday Takeover. Don't forget that tomorrow, Student Council will be holding a regional conference at the high school. Almost 400 students and advisors from the schools around the state will attend. Here's what you need to know. Tomorrow will be a virtual learning day using the schedule on the Sun site. However, some teachers who are helping at the conference will conduct classes asynchronously. Check with your teachers to find out what their expectations are for your classes. Here's a way you can add on to that education that comes from being in school. Students grades 9 through 11 have an opportunity to learn and experience various skills based on trading programs next year with 3 different pre-apprenticeship programs. These programs include construction, electrical, and manufacturing. You will receive class credits without even adding to your class schedule. You can work with experienced professionals, receive national credentials and OSHA certification, and decide if you would like to pursue this field upon graduation. There is no cost. Stop by the Career Center for a flyer and application information and talk with Mrs. Morris about these awesome opportunities. Apply ASAP. There is limited space. Now to Kevin with school news.
Thanks, Dane. Last weekend, the musical department presented The Addams Family. Great job to the actors, musicians, stage crew, and everyone else behind the scenes who made it an amazing experience for the school community. We can't wait to see what is in store for next year. The SATs are coming up, and you need to be prepared. Let's tune into Max and see what you need in order to prepare for the exam.
You ever find yourself in a situation, you're studying for something, feel like you're not fully prepared for it yet? Especially with this coming Saturday. So the Goliath of all standardized testing is upon you, the SATs. Well, that really doesn't matter. If you overstress about it, it will only decrease your performance. So why don't we go for a little walk? And also, this thing, nah. Follow me, would you? If you want to be fully prepared for this exam and maximize your scores, there is a couple steps right here, but it's a very easy to follow process. So I can guarantee you that after we review these couple steps, you will be more prepared for these upcoming SATs than you have ever been before. So let's go take a look.
The SAT is a very heavy reading test. You will have 5 long, dense passages one after another in an hour. It is not that the questions are difficult. Indeed, they're pretty straightforward. But it is the reading part that is tough because your brain will likely run out of energy sometime during the section. To prevent this from happening, do lots of non-fiction reading when preparing for the SAT. The reason is 4 out of the 5 passages you will see will be non-fiction. High school reading curriculums tend to lean mostly towards fiction. To counterbalance that and prepare for SAT reading in general, pick up a magazine or a newspaper. One of the 2 math sections on the SAT will not allow you to use a calculator. However, you don't have to get stuck doing equations with only a number 2 pencil. Prepare for the SAT math by using your brain as a mental calculator. It will save you a lot of time on test day if you know the answer to, say, 3 times 13 right off the bat. Almost half of the verbal section is made up of grammar questions. While many have to do with the big picture essay questions, others rely on basic grammar. You might dread the thought of learning grammar, but it is one of the easiest topics to improve on when preparing for the SAT. Cramming is a bad idea. While you are doing it, it feels like you're retaining so much information, but within a week, most of that information vanishes. Instead, you should make sure to prepare at least a few times a week and review what you've already learned. You will find it easier for you to learn when you are re-exposed to information you've recently attempted to learn. And there is no need to do more than 3 hours of total prep on a day. You'll start to get diminishing returns. You'll also want to take a break in between all that studying to let the information sink in. Don't go at it alone. Find a partner or 2 and keep each other accountable when preparing for the SAT. Share strategies, resources, and SAT study tips. test each other to compete against each other, and most importantly, commiserate with each other. The SAT is a rite of passage, full of ups and downs. It's best not to go at it alone.
If you find ways to incorporate these into your study routine, you will be more prepared for the SAT than ever. So, what are you waiting for? Go crush that test.
Now to Aaliyah with news about daylight savings.
Thanks, Kevin. Get ready to spring forward 1 hour. Daylight savings time begins this Sunday, March 13th at 2 a.m. Way back in 1895, George Hudson, an entomologist from New Zealand, came up with the modern concept of daylight savings time. He proposed a 2-hour time shift so he'd have more after-work hours of sunshine to go bug hunting in the summer. Fun fact, Hawaii, Arizona, and Puerto Rico do not switch back and forth between standard and daylight savings time. It appears that more and more people think that switching times is outdated, and several states are proposing bills that end the time change. Will daylight savings time stick around? Only time will tell. Now to George with World News.
Thanks, Aaliyah. On this day in 2006, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter entered Mars's orbit. Launched from Earth on August 12, 2005, the MRO carried instruments for studying the atmosphere of Mars and searching for signs of water on the red planet. After entering Mars's orbit on March 10, 2006, the satellite collected data including images of the Mars exploration rovers and dark streaks that appear to be salty water flowing downhill. Almost 16 years later, the satellite is still in orbit around Mars and has collected over 423 terabytes, or roughly 54,000 gigabytes of data, and continues to collect data to this day. Now to Kamal with sports news.
Thanks, George. Our Lady Lions had an exciting week. The Red Lion girls basketball team put up an awesome fight, but went down 50-19 Tuesday night. The Mount Lebanon Blue Devils had a 28-11 halftime lead and were able to extend their lead in the second half. Our Lady Lions had an excellent season despite the loss, and will look to go even further next season. This was head coach Don Dimoff's 16th appearance in the state tournament during his tenure at Red Lion, and will look to add another state tournament appearance to his resume next season. This past week brought lots of excitement to the NBA world. A group of players scored a ton of points in their team's wins in the NBA. The player who scored the most points was LeBron James with 56 against the second best team in the West, the Golden State Warriors. Jason Tatum scored the second highest points over the weekend with 54 to defeat the Brooklyn Nets. The Nuggets then beat the Pelicans with the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic, putting up 46-point triple-double, and finally, Chris Middleton, who would drop 44 points against the Suns to propel them to the dub. Today in college basketball, the NCAA posted a new AP Top 25 college basketball rankings. With games at stake, bids and bragging rights are on the line as they host single elimination games. Duke, Houston, Illinois, and Kansas are some notable teams that have the highest potential chance of winning the tournament. However, any team in the tournament has a chance to take home that trophy. Now to Max with entertainment news.
Thanks, Kamal. There is a new game in town. Are you interested in open world games? Well, RLA TV video game reviewer Cameron Core reviewed Elden Ring. Here is a snippet of Cameron's Elden Ring review.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture.
Elden Ring is a game that even Miyazaki himself expects players to get good. Elden Ring is a place with vast exploration and random encounters, as well as random boss encounters. This game will have you running in fear. In the end, it will only lead to pain and sorrow and even death. For the full review, visit RLA TV on YouTube. I'm Cameron. Have a nice day.
Thank you for that preview, Cameron. You can find more content, news, and entertainment videos on Red Lion Area Senior High School's YouTube channel. Now back to Dane.
Thanks for joining us here at RLA TV for the Thursday Takeover. I'm Dane. Stay safe, Red Lion.